Yo, what's up? Welcome to another exciting episode of the Come Up Uncut. We're back with season 2. Shouts out to Romeo, man, for keeping it real with the previous 2 episodes. We really had a good time. Today I'm joined with a fantastic guest. I've been trying to get him on the show for so long. It finally happened. I'm chilling with Thapelo Masokoane. Did I pronounce it right? Yeah, got it. I'm chilling with Thapelo here, man. He's a renowned author, motivational speaker. He's a preacher. Most important of all, he's a father. But we are here to listen to his story about prison and how prison shaped his life and what the future holds for him. So, Thapelo, welcome.
No, thank you so much for the invitation, and I'm looking forward to engage and share that experience.
I'm also chilling with Kamal, who's going to be co-hosting an episode for the first time in his life. So it's going to be interesting, man. He's my boy, he's a brother, he's a friend. It's going to be interesting. So, Thapelo, I just want to, let's bring it from the start. From the start, you grew up in Tembisa. You wanted to be a soccer player at some point in your life, but you mentioned that, because of, you didn't relate with the other guys that played soccer. You had to choose a different life. You had to chill with other friends. Let's just take it from your childhood before prison. Let's take it from grade 1 until grade 12.
First and foremost, one thing that you need to understand that each and every human being has a biography. Each and every human being has a genesis. There's some place where you emerge, where you are coming from. And for me, my life, it's one of those stories that in retrospection, it's very painful. Born and bred in the dusty street of Tembisa, I grew up in Ndayeni. Because, I'm coming from a family where we never had a proper shelter. We were renting from one place to another. Sometimes mom, she cannot manage to pay the rent. We have to be evicted with immediate. And we will leave, we move, just like that. I started school Komundiobo, primary school. It was in Fianeni, and I'm coming from a family of 5, Elatlin 5, and I'm the third to be born. And it's 3 boys, 2 girls, 5 of us, different biological fathers. And that in and of itself, it creates a confusion because, and I just want to maybe tap into this thing of a fatherhood, because a child, whether a girl or a boy who's born in a family that does not have a mother nor a father, be it death, be it the absence of a father by choice, complications, complexities of the relationship with the mother, we were raised by a single parent. And it was very, very difficult.
So at which point in your life did you decide that you want to go into hustling? I'm just going to call it hustling because these are the beginning stages. This is hustling. Yeah.
People think that, let me put it this way. There's no one who is normal in their heads will wake up and decided, I want to be a criminal. I think society, there's something that we're missing in society, that there are certain circumstances, regardless of the choices that we are making, but those circumstances, they contribute. Here is a child born and bred in abject poverty. The father is not there. There are a lot of questions that you're asking yourself.
For sure.
It's why? You understand? And when you get out of the house, out of the room we were renting, you come across people who are different from you. It's not like they are having perhaps things on their silver platter, but their life is different. Mom, dad is there, they are taken care of, and you're coming from a household where things are tough, and now before you can even start committing crime, you need what is known as, from the psychological space, coping mechanism. You need to cope.
Yes.
Now you move into coping. Dacha is not doing anything. You have to now get cocaine, menrets, heroin. Now those things in and of itself, they are costly. because it's a habit. You need now to go and hustle so that you can get this habit. And mind you, for you to get those habits, you have to go and commit crime. Yeah, so that's how I started, committing crime. But we were young by then. It's not like I started doing bigger things then.
Was this high school?
Not yet high school. We are in primary, but there's that anger, there's that belligerence, there's that aggressiveness that I'm carrying, because each and everyone in a society, they don't seem to be seeing that you are a troubled child. Yes. Because I always say this, when I get into the schools doing motivation, I'm looking for those who are ostracized, those who are sidelined, those who are deemed as notorious, as corrupt makers, problem, and so I know those are the ones who are dealing with problems, but it's not visible, discernible to those who are dealing with those young people. So it happens to me that I was a troubled child. At school, beat teachers, like I didn't care.
You beat teachers?
Yes, I fought with teachers. At primary level, it's not a joke, I'm just telling you the truth.
Were you fighting?
No, I will sometimes how teachers are. She will call you and ask you a question, what is this? And once you bend, she gives you a clap. Yes. Then I hit back.
You return.
I will hit back. But remember, for me, it was, today I call it them the philosophical questions that I'm asking. Who am I? Why am I here? What is the meaning of life? Why? Why didn't I have a biological father in my space? Why these things? And you asking the whys, you don't have answers. Yes, the answers is now those things they've bottled up inside you. Now they are turning into violence. You go outside, you are using substance abuse, from substance abuse, crime, and those things after crime and smoking, it seems you are moving from the real world, because we call them escapism. You are escaping from the actual reality. You are now in a fantasy world of being high from drugs, alcohol, money. You just live this stuck life.
Okay, but Thapelo, I'm going to ask you a question. Yeah? You said you grew up in a family where you were a couple of children. I'm going to say 5 because you mentioned 5. You are the 5th one.
3rd one.
Yes. And then you all had different fathers. Ne? Was your father there?
No.
He wasn't there.
Even to this day.
Even to this day.
I don't know his nose. I don't know how big is the head.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you feel like if he was there, would your life change?
Yeah, I think it's a difficult question, because life is not shaped by my father. It's shaped by the choices that I make from day to day.
Sure.
But him being there, it contributes to my well-being as I grow up. Because regardless of whether your father is a lion or is an antelope, regardless, knowing that there's someone I can go and say, Papa, Daddy, I need this.
Yes.
For instance, if I walk with my dad in the night through the graveyards, he might be frightened, he might be scared, but the child won't be scared because he knows Daddy's here. So him being scared, it's his problem. He must deal with that.
You feel safe. The child feels safe.
Because Daddy is here.
For sure.
Whether Daddy is poor or not, it's not my problem. As long I know Daddy is there, it gives you a sense of belonging. It gives you that feeling to say, at least I can go home to someone who is Daddy. Because those things, they are affecting my mother. You can see the depression, the anxiety, the stress that my mother, she needs to now play 2 roles. She's a mother, she's a father at the same time, which is absolutely impossible. Because a mother, she's a woman, she can never understand the complexities that a boy child goes through. There are certain things at a certain stage and age I cannot talk to my mother.
Yes.
I cannot find comfort in telling her some of the things that as I'm growing up, I'm going through, you know. So yeah, that was the difficult side of those things.
Okay, sorry, Bro Thapelo, but I'm gonna ask you a very difficult question. Me myself, I was convicted of negligent driving. 12 months imprisonment, or you pay so much amount of money. I managed to pay that amount of money, so I didn't go to prison. Please walk me through what I should have or would have walked through in that process.
In prison?
Yeah, in prison.
In prison.
Yeah. In prison. Because I was going to prison.
So your question isn't like what happens in prison?
Yes.
Okay, maybe before we can even start like going to prison, let me just take you back so that you can appreciate on the top side.
Yes.
It started small.
Yes.
You don't just start by going straight to prison. You started by getting beaten by mob justice here and there.
Have you been there?
Yeah. I think 4 times, and the 4th time 2 of my friends died. So I nearly died because in Ivory Park.
Were you there?
No,
Here in
it
Ivory
happens,
Park.
bro. I have a cousin that I lost through mob justice.
You know, I've never seen that thing face to face.
You know, and when I was beaten, in fact, when they stoned my friend, I was in and out of consciousness. And for me, I don't know, I can't explain it, because when I was supposed to be stoned, the cops arrived and I was rescued from the scene. So when I was in the hospital, I heard that so and so passed on. And those things, remember now, they just create anger.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
just create anger. You know, you just you survived. You know, your life was saved from the portals of death. You are back now. But again, on the other side, you're telling yourself, this is a dark life. So my youth, my teenage years and youth is spent in and out of prison.
Yes.
In and out of prison. You go to awaiting trial, 3 months, you come back. Now remember, when you get to awaiting trial, you now associate with the bigger thugs. Because now you are in awaiting trial, you are in a cell. Next week or this particular date, you are going to court. So
I'm very sorry to disturb you there.
Okay.
Awaiting trial is the part where you get to jail, but you are not serving a sentence.
Yeah, you are not convicted, but you are. That's why he says trial.
Trial.
So you are waiting for trial.
Yes.
In the trial, it will be decided whether it's a conviction or the case is withdrawn. Then
Did you have any bail or anything?
Yes, I had a bail, but remember, I'm coming from a background that is poor. So 2,000 is a lot of money for my mother. They can buy a grocery. And I knew, look, you have girlfriends, and those you know, you make their hairstyles. Yeah, when you come from crime scenes, you buy them stuff. Sometimes they do come through for you, but sometimes it's not guaranteed. You know, and so while you're sitting there, you begin to listen to these elderly guys who are doing heist, who are doing bigger crimes, and you begin to say, nuggets are the peanuts. Because while you're listening to their stories, you hear this is a movie. It's like watching a movie, and you hear how the heist was done, and you can see even when you go with them to court, you know, they're attending their own cases. You see people who've come to see them. You say, oh, these are bigger shots, and you begin to exchange numbers with them. You tell them, no, I have spirit, man. I have that nerve. I can do things.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I have it.
I can handle it.
So when you come back now, it's no longer this robberies of cell phones, kokasi, you know. Now you have escalated. You know, you're going to the suburbs now. They used to call me scouter. Now, what is a scouter? Scouter, it's the one who investigate. I will investigate you. What time you coming back home? What time are you leaving? How many people are living in the house? How many cars? How many children? And as much as I can get the entire information, sometimes I might get it wrong.
Yes.
But within 100%, you have to give me 90%.
Yes.
Because 90% I will tell you this is what is going to happen, this is what, and I'll come back. And most of the time, now I'm with the big shots, with the bigger guys, and they love me because I'm not just bringing the Zozo and container crimes of the townships. Now we are talking about the suburbs. You're talking about Parkview, Greenside, Emarenchia. Those are suburbs.
Those are big suburbs.
You know, white Indians, particularly Marenchia, it's full of Indians. And when you talk about Indians, you talk about money, you talk about gold, you talk about jewelry, you talk about all those things. And so there was a time when, of course, we committed a crime that I wish I never committed. It was a house robbery. Two of my friends were shot in the crime scene. They died. I escaped. I was arrested, I think 500 meters away.
The other street is,
Wait. Sorry, were those guys shot?
Yeah, remember we were 5.
Oh,
2 died.
okay, I thought it was 3.
You know, we were 5, 2 died.
Shit.
2 is
we
now
were
7.
arrested.
Yeah, we are
And
arrested.
then they are the ones who identified.
That's the one where they shot someone, or they stabbed.
They stabbed someone.
They stabbed someone.
They stabbed the owner of the house.
Hey, didn't
who
want 2
happens
people
to
die.
be a judge.
He was a judge.
Yeah, the guy was a judge because I remember when I take the wallet, I saw those gowns, you know, those judge gowns and etc. Yeah, then I was arrested 500 meters away from the crime scene, and you know, I won't forget that scene, that crime, and in the police station we were not put in the same cell because these guys, I turn on them literally, but by turning on them. Remember now, ngezulu bathi indoda nendoda imele ikhanda lakhe. In other words, a man for himself now.
Yeah.
So it's good enough. This is a real crime, Schedule 6.
Yes.
And I look where I'm coming from. I know there's no bail. Look, I knew to say here, it's only God who has to take me out of this mess.
Yes.
We attended to a trial, and from 2009. 2012, they did this thing. I think within the law or the justice system is called separation of trial, but it's the same case. So they attend in the certain date. I'm not with them. So when they were sentenced to life in prison, I was not there, and when I was sentenced to 15 imprisonment, they were not there. So you go to now. I knew I've been in prison for 10 months, for 6 months. Now this is 15 years plus. It's a long time.
It's a long time.
First time,
Very long time.
they give you a jersey number of Dr. Kumar. They say, Baba,
This is yours.
Now number 15. Ambo's track. I remember when I was in a truck going to Sun City. I knew 20 years of age. I knew to say now.
Were you 20 at
So you were 20 when you were giving 15 years?
Yes, 20 years of age. 2012, 14 November. Quarter to 12. High Court. I won't forget. As the truck is going to Sun City, and you know, you look at other guys, some guys they got bail, some guys they are going back to awaiting trial. You are going, Baba. When are you going? You are going to a different world for a long time.
Thapelo, before you get to the truck, before you get inside the truck, when the judge says 15 years, what happens in your mind?
No, you know, the judge I was attending, he was a bull, you know.
Yeah.
And I learned that day that Afrikaans is broken into 2 parts.
Okay.
There's what is known as Saver Afrikaans, which is the Bo Ferrefoot, Bo Fania, Rebek. It's kind of like Dutch. This is the Afrikaans, the Netherlands. Then there's this one of us of the colours. It's known as the slang. Our second.
Away.
Yeah. And when the magistrate was reading out the verdict, it was blank because he was speaking in Savior Afrikaans.
Yes.
I heard nothing. She just turned and said, "Sehole jwalo and that 15 years." I'm like, yeah.
How did you feel, bro? Like,
No, like you know, first time that you think they are playing,
Yeah.
like it's like and like it's like I don't know if you've been in Gold City.
Yeah.
There's this thing they call it merry-go-round.
No,
you felt
I've
like
never been there.
you felt like you're in a merry-go-round and like like maybe they will call you again.
We are playing.
And after that, like, and you hear behind you hear those who are in court. You like, and you know those police who are there, and they will come. Hey, what's that one? And now you go down the stairs, and now you're thinking, 15 years, you're sitting there. You're like, and they call, because they need to remove you fast from the court because you can organize escape. You need to go to prison.
So from the verdict, you go
immediately. Yeah, they organize. They take you fingerprints. You know all the procedure. Then you get into the van, and we went straight to in the truck. We went to Sun City. So as we get into Sun City, you see those guys, they say, you know, they try to give you that motivation. Mashana's on your die. She's on your die. But but in my mind,
it's 20 years at the time.
In my mind, you know, my brother is still in prison, my second brother. Mm-hmm. And this is what happened. This is what broke my mother's heart. 3 October 2012. My second brother sentenced to 15 years. Different crime. Here in Chembisa, he was sentenced in Alexander because he was doing the very same thing I was doing, but with his friends somewhere else. Now, last month, my brother was sentenced to 15 years, 3 October. The following month, 14 November, I'm sentenced to 15 years. Sure. 2 of your sons, 15 years.
Space of 2 months.
Different prisons.
How come is your brother still in prison?
Because he violated his conditions, because he came out on parole. He didn't want to listen. He stays in Tembisa, so he went back again because he was under the supervision here parole. So when you get into prison now, I knew because it was the second time going to the conviction side, because I went first 2008 when I was sentenced to 10 months. So I'm there in Sun City, and you know, they take the clothes, you know, these clothes you're gonna see them after a long time. They give you those, we call them yellow overalls, prisoner. They give you a card, they write your sentence. This card is your life, you know, they write your sentence. Dude, I remember going to a cell, and you look at, you know, the cell that I was in.
Sorry, I want you to walk me through that process, because I almost walked that process.
What happens?
Yeah.
You get off the truck. What happens?
You get off the truck. Remember, your name is important.
Yes.
In prison, your name is sacred. Your name, wherever, like your name and surname. When you get there, first thing they call you by name. Before you even jump out of the truck,
yes,
you jump out of the truck when your name is called. So and so, Thapelo Masokoane. Yes. You jump, then you squat, they count.
You naked?
No. Then you get there, then they check, this one at the sentence on how many years? Or when 15 years, you know, you get those guys who are long in prison. They make as if now they are the tycoons, but they are prisoners now. You know, the clevers, those who were there for a long time, and they take your names. You know, your name is important. Your name, your address, the cell phone. So whatever happens to you, whether you are seeing the person, at least the next of kin that they can call.
Yes.
And they give you overalls. Then after that, they give you toothpaste. You know, those people say, it's so smelly. Those green sunlight, you know,
it's also, we call it sepamash.
They give you that soap. And now they tell you where you're going. They give you a cell, two sheet to stretch the sponge, and the one to, you know, sleep with, and get there, and you begin to. Now, once you lay your head on the pillow, now you begin to reflect on where you're coming from.
No,
how
for what?
life unfolded.
Sorry for that. I don't want to disturb you in your audio conference. I want you to walk me through. Let's say this is Jane.
Yeah.
This passage is Jane.
What do you see?
What am I walking into? I haven't even taken off these clothes. I went to court with these clothes.
No, remember I told you, son, prison are different. They have different settings.
So Kamakone, you wanna know what does he see? Like what's in the cells?
Let's
the
say
prisoners.
I went to court with these clothes. And then at court they said 15 years in prison. So I'm going to Sun City now.
Yeah.
What should I expect?
In fact, what do you want to expect?
No, but I know I messed up, but
I want to know.
there's no
What's
expectation. The only thing that is in your mind is you are removed. Your freedom has been taken away.
Yes.
Women, the love, the enjoyment with women has been taken away. You are being taken away from your loved ones, from all the luxuries of life.
Yes.
You're going to leave behind barbed wires, electric fence,
Yes.
long walls.
Yes.
In fact, you are going to be like a money in a fertility truck. Because you are going to be like
So much
escort. Every day you are going to be counted, But as you arrived, like I said, the procedure I told you,
Yes.
once you walked into your cell,
You
moved from one
You
gate
walk
to
into-
another.
Come on. Like I'm wearing these clothes. I'm
No, before you cannot get into prison with this. From a reception area, there's a reception, whether it's in the business.
That's where you are. I want you
In
to
the
take me
reception, they take your clothes, they take your name. There's a file that is open.
Women, the love, the enjoyment with women has been taken away.
That come from court, which is a docket. Now you are moving from the hands of SAPS to the hands of correctional systems. Remember, the SAPS is another department.
Another department.
Correctional service is another department. So once the SAPS hand you from the last day from court, you are sentenced, they hand you to the correctional systems. The correctional systems, they take your name, in fact, now you are responsible
For the government.
under
The government.
the correctional service, to be more specific.
Yes.
So in the reception area, like I said, they take your clothes, they take everything, your name, they check how many tattoos you have, which church are you involved in, because there are two churches in prison. Two church. The first church is the one that is outside that we know, and the second church is the
Emanomo.
So they will ask you, Osondapi, and you say, okay, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim. Okay, fine. What is another church? Are you involved in another church? Which is another church? Sometimes you get confused.
26.
They say, are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Where are you then?
Sure.
Yeah, because I was a part of the 26 gang, and they will say, okay, sharp. Then you are done. You are moving now. Once you get Sun City, it has lot of grill bars, the gates, they lock, unlock, and lock, unlock, and lock. Yeah, we are born and out in Yavalelo.
Yeah.
Because when you come back, you see I've passed almost 7 gates. And in every gate there's a warden that is sitting next to that gate. Then that side you hear the excited, you hear the music, you hear the guys.
Why are they excited?
Yeah, the excitement is
They
the
playing
prisoners. Some they are playing radio, some they are having conversations, some the conversations of prison. Now when you say fresh, the conversation outside Nabopalis and Nabontabis, their conversations is when they were in that prison that 5 years. In fact, their conversation are prison based. So you get into prison and you get into a cell. Of course, for someone like me, I'm angry, and I was a juvenile by then. I'm full of anger and all those things. I fix my bed and lie on a pillow. Then of course now I'm thinking what I'm going to smoke, because I was smoking then. I organized Dacha because I'm from court, I have money. I roofed someone in court, we ask Sabarofa, we take the money and all that. And I smoke, then of course, once you lay, like I said, your pillow, the mind goes outside. It goes back from the day you were born. You started asking yourself why you begin the sense of remorse and regretting, you begin to say, what did I, but at the same time, you begin to say, blaming myself or thinking, and it's not going to help me. I need to face this. Once then someone will pass, hey, SMC, do I know you? Yeah, and you begin now to engage in a conversation with someone and they ask you how many years were you sentenced, you begin now to form friends here and there. But remember, I was a juvenile. So in Sun City, maximum juveniles they don't serve their sentence there. You have to be moved to what is known as the most notorious prison in South Africa, especially for the juveniles. Boksburg prison. You find it's a juvenile maximum sentence. Now, maybe let me break it down for you to understand. When we talk about maximum, we talk about from 11 years up until to alphabetical sentence. From 10 years to life sentence to 100 years. You find someone who is 19 years is doing double life sentence plus 50 years. Jesus. So those people, they have committed like horrible crimes. So that's where I was transferred from Sun City, because I'm a juvenile. I'm 20 years. My maximum cannot be served in Sun City because it's an adult center. So I was moved to Boksburg prison, and that's when I started to serve my sentence.
So from Boksburg prison, they move you to...
From Sun City to Boksburg.
From Sun City. At what age did they move you back to Sun City?
Remember, they differ. Medium start from, let's say, it ends in 10 years. 3 months, 20 days to 10 years. So medium, you go to adult when you are 21, when you are doing medium. But when you are doing maximum, you go when you are 29.
And when you're doing medium, 15 is medium.
It was maximum.
15 is maximum.
Yeah, so I'm 20 years, so there was 8 years before me to go to adult.
So this is your first time in real prison?
No, it's not my first time. It's my first time in
a
serving, in a maximum and serving a long sentence.
Because you've been in and out.
Yes.
But this is your first time serving a maximum sentence. What are the survival tactics that you have to employ? How do you survive? How do you condition your mind that now I need to survive? What are some of the things that... Don't make it personal.
Yeah.
Not even about you, but what are some of the things that people in prison do to survive?
First and foremost, let me begin with positive survival techniques that are positive.
Sure.
In Boksburg prison, there was a section called J2.
Yes.
J2, the J stand for juvenile. Juvenile section 2, there are those who are positive about life. They know what they did outside. They are taking accountability, responsibility by what? By doing education, doing courses, reading, playing soccer. They are just doing, some are painting, some are drawing, they are just doing something that will enhance and embellish their life in a positive way. That's one technique or tactics of survival. Then you find another tactics of survival, which now, one, it's gangsterism.
Yes.
In prison, a gangsterism plays a huge role. Remember now, I became a 26 outside. I'm getting into prison, I'm a 26 already. Now, when I was in prison, of course, now I didn't know. I knew this thing and where it will take me. I hide myself, I didn't first time, in fact, let me just give you the secrets of how the 26 operate. When I enter prison, they call it istimela. Within the number.
That is where I wanted you to take me through.
Yeah,
because I've heard about it.
They call it istimela. So mangenang istimela as a 26. The first thing that I need to do, istimela batisakona sibov, like it's blood. I have to step.
You need to spill blood.
Yeah, I have to. It's one of the rules within this occultic number of 26.
Sure.
I need. So for me, I'm still confused about this 15 years, and my heart is broken, and I know this thing. So when I arrived, I didn't like show up to say I'm at 26. So while I was bathing, someone saw the tattoo and say, "Hey, when, hey," and now I realized to say,
You can't
know
say
what?
no. You can't deny.
Now I have to stand because it's either I'm going to be a wife for someone, it's either I'm gonna be raped, it's either these guys are going to stab me to death, or I show them who I am. And all of a sudden I'm busy wiping myself. I hear the sound now, they're busy, wearing the jerseys. They say, "Oopi, hey," and the prison is closed. They call me and say, "Hey, they found me. I'm already now in the mood, in the spirit."
Because you had them coming.
Yeah, because I knew what is gonna happen now. They come, they say, we go through the process. They ask, and I tell them, "Oh, this is what." They say, "Okay, this guy understands the philosophy. So why then were you hiding?" Now, those who are above my rank, of course, now there's a punishment.
For you hiding.
Yeah, for hiding now. Tomorrow morning, first thing when we are going to collect food, they call it paga. I have to split blood. First thing in the morning. And it's like the soldier thing, there's the rankings, there's those one. When the prison is open, everyone is going to imagine I'm going to stab you. You did nothing to me. I don't know you. You don't know me.
Who chooses?
Jesus.
Who chooses?
I have to choose anyone.
So you can stab anyone.
Yeah, but except for I'm stepping someone who is not in any gang membership because now it will cause Bati Timelazachesan.
So you're gonna cause an internal fight.
Yeah, there will be a rough. So I need to find someone who's not in any gang
He didn't do
related.
anything.
He didn't do anything. No, I just spot say hello.
So how do you identify which Mina, I'm in a number and Tamo is not in a number?
I can see. Guys, you're not numbers, you can see.
You can see, bro. It's
see.
quite simple to see. You go, okay, lo I get koda. Then Magavela. Magavela, I'm like, okay, here's the guy. And I'm stepping the guy, and all of a sudden, of course, when you're stepping now, it becomes a chaos. Everyone is running away. The police are running away. Then the siren for a backup. Other police are coming from other section. Then I was beaten half dead.
Do you step to kill or step to just split?
No, we want to see blood. That's the thing.
Oh, so you can even step on the hand.
You can step and kill, and it's for the. For the number, it's a big thing. It's like it's a cult. It's satanic. These things, So for me, you just step. The only thing that we want to see, yikas, when you split blood, then you are in daughter now. You are in sis. Then I came back, and I was beaten. And when you are beaten, kutawul bambal shisa. In other words, there's no confession.
It's yours.
Yeah, you have to stand for what you did without saying who's involved. And the police, they know someone is involved. They will beat you, and you have to say, this guy, he started me first. And then they did it. I don't know. Hey, now you started me first. And you get beaten. I was taken to the single cell for a week. It's a punishment. It's a single cell. You are alone, always locked there. When you come back, now everybody now get to know. Hey, who's that guy? You earn respect by that deed. You just step one person, or now everything is gonna flow. You're gonna get respect. Everybody's afraid. The rest, this is how I did it. The rest of the time, I was just scaring people. Because they know what I did. And now I know I don't want to continue stepping people because it will damage my file. Because when I go to the parole board for the date of release, they check those things. You are still a threat to the society. Even here, most you are living this type of lifestyle. So that's the survival tactics. You need to be in a gang. Now, let me take it further. There are those who get into the gang starism. They don't step. For instance, I look at you, Thabo, and I say, okay, Thabo goes to visit. Every weekend, Thabo is going to visit. He's coming from a well-to-do family, there's money, you know. Okay. Thabo, but he has that thing, so we see us, Thabo, you know what? You see, people, they will take your cigarettes, they will take your things if you are not part of us. Become part of us and learn our papa, turn this into. Then we put this thing, we put the tattoo on you. Once this thing is in you, now you don't have anything that belongs to you. Everything is for us.
Belongs to the number game.
And now in your rank, you cannot hold cigarette. In your rank,
Because I'm still the lower rank.
Yeah, you like a cartoon, but you still don't.
Yeah, it goes to the guys on the.
Yeah,
it goes to him.
It
goes to him.
Just smoke.
Yeah, you wasted my time with my cigarette.
And Butwa, when they said it, they say, linye lokungena alikho lokuphuma. It
Yeah, you
means
don't
once you're in,
Yeah.
you can never go outside. The only way you go outside, it's we kill you. But if I can tell you how I walked outside, how I stopped, I in fact, maybe it's when we we continue with the conversation to say, this is the most tactic to survive. You have to belong to a gang.
Yeah.
Or you go to another section, like I said, you leave. There are two alternatives.
Yeah.
It's either you go to school, you become positive, you build your life, or this side, you join gangsterism, or you are going to become somebody who gets steps for nothing, or you get raped, especially those who have this
Nice bodies.
you look like feminine and everything. When you go to the shower, the guys are watching you.
Top target.
How do you look feminine? How do I look feminine?
Some guys look feminine.
You know what, ne? Once you spend almost 6 years behind walls,
Yes.
and the only thing you see it's men. Men end up becoming beautiful. No, there are those that when you look at it say, yeah. But for me, the gangsterism I'm in doesn't allow that. I can get stabbed, I can get even killed.
You can't get raped.
Yeah, no, they don't allow that. It's the rule. If we find you raping someone or sleeping with someone, we stab you to death. It's a rule. We don't do that. Tina, the philosophy of the 26 is cigarette, it's dacha, it's money. Yeah, we always manipulate, shire the scalens, that's how we operate. Once we find you doing those things, but the 28th, the 28 prison is his house. Yeah, but it's and they need to have a wife. It's imperative for a 28 gang member to have a wife in prison.
So is it possible for like me, Tao? I'm a proper gent, I get arrested for drink and driving, they give me 5 years. I land Sun City, right? Soon as I'm not a gangster, I'm just normal gent. Soon as I land in Sun City, how does a 28 member identify me as a potential wife?
Remember, we check. There's the first time when you get in, there are those when they get in, you don't take nonsense. From the word go, you don't take nonsense. Hey, Utini. You show that face, when what? You see, you go, law, you understand? Yeah, but once you say, like, those who come first time, you can show to say, you are a target.
Potential wife.
You are always, no, you know, what? Utin manje. But just now. Then after 2 minutes we are just to show to say I'm not afraid. I'm not. But most of the people, like I said, rapes do happen, but not often.
Okay, let's talk about that not often. Wait, I want to talk about that not often. It happens. How do guys get raped in prison? Because I've heard people say no, some guys are wives, some guys are girlfriends. I want to talk about prison rape. How do men get
prison rape? Is like this. Like everybody spotted you, especially for those, like I said, they have this feminine pulchritude the appearance, the body, you know, they do have.
How do you have as a man?
Look, like that's how those people they are long in prison. That's how
I haven't seen a woman in a long time.
you know, that's how they see it. You understand? So once you come into the space, especially these things happen when you are in a shower. They already planned. You are, of course, naked, minding your business. There's a curtain. You are shut, and you see men coming in, and of course,
Yeah,
you know, and we know. For instance, when the 26 are doing that, Tina, the 26, when the 28 are going to do that, Tina's the 26, we will know that this is going to happen. But remember, it's not my business to look the 28 what is he doing.
Yes.
Because he's a gang member.
Yes.
It's gonna be a fight. As long as it doesn't interfere with the cigarettes, with the money, he knows that's my work. So his work is going to, so we know, and that day you're gonna see where I'm wearing jerseys, when the prison closes, attention. I know today
Someone is being raped.
Yeah,
So when okay, let me ask this question, Thapelo. Mina nawe sisuka ekasini liyi-1, sisuke eSoweto soyi-2, sisuka ekasini liyi-1, like, you know, but wena ushaya umthetho, mina ngishaya umthetho. But you know ukuthi aboThabiso sorry to say Thabiso, aboThabo, they want to bazokurapa today. Angithi wena ushaya umthetho, uThabo ushaya umthetho. Mina niyazana ukuthi okay, inambi ikhala ngicamako namhlanje.
Okay.
So you can't even say ukuthi
no, remember when you belong, you are under the protection of the 26 because of me.
Yes.
Because now I can say umsebenzi wami. You know, you are bringing cigarette for me. By that virtue, you are protected already.
Yes.
They know ukuthi lapaya it's the 26 are working there.
Yes.
So you are already protected. They understand that because of, for me, because I will stand there, I will go to Nguni, Mtabayambi. So uyazi naye. Angisondeli la sebenzela khona, nami angisondeli la sebenzela. But there are cases. Let me bring this lingo. You know what that means? They mean umakasana sold you. Someone you trusted sold you out. You understand? And those things, they happen often.
Yeah.
Someone you trusted, but because prison is prison, unfortunately, someone sold you. And you end up not just being raped. Okay, in many cases that's why a rape ayenzakali often. But ukurufa, uthathelwe izinto, you understand? Okay, ngiyabona ukuthi uyaqina unemali. Ngivele ngitshela abanye ama-26 ukuthi guys, mina ngibe involved. Mina mase bakuthathele ngiyabatshela phela abopro bami. Ngifaka abafako. Now ngikutshelile ukuthi ulethe lezi zinto ngiyabona manje. Mina ngiyophema ngale ngineshares ngale.
Alright, okay.
Wena sengiphethele iteacher asozincenga.
So Thapelo, we've established how guys get raped, ne?
Yeah.
Let's talk about again prison wives. What makes a guy, a straight guy, never slept with a guy, never kissed a man, goes in prison and becomes a wife? Apparently there's a lot of men who are wives in prison. Fathers actually who are wives in prison. How does that happen?
Like I said, life in prison is hard. Let me start by this. You must not like food. If bacho baba like that's why people, let me use this word, it's a vulgar word, but I would use it. People get fucked for silly things. Stupid things. Kellogg's, Movai. Imagine your son outside your day, he was fucked for the Kellogg's and cornflakes.
Factual Movite.
I'm telling you, because those things, they are nugget of gold. For instance, for me, let me give you a context. For me, my entire prison time, I didn't get visit. Until prior to my release, when people from the church because I was now in the church space. Then they started understanding where I'm coming from, my situation. Then that's when they started visiting me, giving me that hope. They're the ones who bought me clothes when I was released. You know. So I don't get visit. The only food I know is the prison food, which is the stinkers. Now, what do I mean by stinkers? They don't last in your stomach. You eat now, fat 2-3 times. Back to square number one.
It's gone.
So, when the prison is closed, those who get visit, they take out the brood bags, the fish, the noodles,
The Kellogg's.
and now you're sitting there. The stomach is crying.
Yeah.
Remember, when I tap out of gangsterism, I think we can land on this one.
Yes.
I sat back and realized to say, I'm being abused here. These people by using a black lamb, they are using my effort, my nerve and boldness. Every time I'm the one who's getting in trouble. If someone is stepped in the section, the name first that comes up, where's Thapelo?
Yeah.
You know, then I realized to say, la ngiyaqhilazeka la. Every time I get beaten, I say, And now remember, now I'm starting to looking for options to say, what is life all about? I want to change my life. It was too late. I wanted to go back to school that because I realized this is not working. You know, attending church, studying the Bible with other guys who used to come do Bible study, and I came back to them. They were sitting like this, all the makuzus of the 26, and I told them, you know, they gave me things visible, invisible. Those things you are having them. There's a dress that they give you, but you don't see those
Spiritual.
things.
You said it's spiritual clothes.
You don't see. You have a 303, but you don't see those. So I came to say, guys, I'm bringing your tools back.
That's how you left the
They were
gang.
sitting there in prison. You're sitting there. I say,
But you're still in prison.
yeah. I say, here's your tools. Now I'm following Christ. They say,
Was it that easy?
listen, it was not that easy, but remember, I decided to give my life to Christ. And when I gave my life to Christ, He gives you the power that surpasses all human understanding, the peace.
Yes.
Now I begin to come to a self-consciousness, Thapelo, you are more than this.
Yes.
This is trash.
Yes.
You are not this. This is who you are. You are called for something. You were born for something big, you know? Then that's when I move into Christianity. And what shocked them, even myself, even the section, it's the first time I preached. You know, they called each and every warden to come and see. Now, they used to call the prison warden like this to come and beat me when I step someone. Now they are coming to witness here, Thapelo is preaching. And they're looking at me. So, those 26 guys, they were shocked. I telling us. People, they were like,
It's changing.
like they were shocked. And even myself, I remember going back to the cell, I'm like, then I realized to say, you know what? Cigarette is a problem. I need to stop smoking. I made a decision then and there. I went to a non-smoking cell. I started focusing. Unfortunately, my days were near to go outside. Then I just how I left the gangsterism. I went to Christianity. I started. Since from then I was in the church space. Going, even now I still go back to prison to talk to the guys, give them motivations, remind them gangsterism is not the way.
What are your closing
I have
thoughts?
two-
Though?
I have two more
close.
questions.
I wanna close. You need to close. What are your closing thoughts? I need to close now.
Okay, can your closing quotes be on around how do you advise a young Thapelo at your age? Go back to Thapelo now, when he started robbing people or whatever he did. That was crime. Yeah.
Remember, you don't get to choose how and where you are born and to what circumstance you are born into.
Yes.
But you have the power and the capacity to choose where you're going to be tomorrow. It goes back to the Garden of Eden. God gave Adam and Eve the power and the gift which comes with risk. You know, there's a knowledge of wrong and right and the consequences of wrong. So they decided to disobey go against God's commandment. When God visited the garden, he asked Adam, where are you? Adam says, I hid myself because I was afraid and I hide myself. Okay, judgment is individual. If what happened, Eve says it's the snake, so no one is taking responsibility. We are blaming other people.
Yes.
Like I said, it's all about choices. Look, there are people who were born in poverty like me, but they made choices to go to school barefooted. You understand? There's no excuse for failure. There's no excuse. It's just that you understand. Yes, life is difficult, but the choices that you make today are going to determine your future. Einstein put it this way: you are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choices. What you reap is what you sow.
I know I'm happy, Prime.
Are you happy? Can I close?
Yeah?
Can I close?
Yes, we can.
Are you happy? Are you happy? Is there anything that you want to say before we close? That's your camera. So you're looking at someone who's considering crime, someone who's in crime, someone who wants to leave crime, and you have 2 minutes to speak to that person there. What do you say to them?
So I would say it's quite simple. Each and every human being is born with a purpose. And a purposeless life, a meaningless life, will lead you into a variety of things that you'll end up finding yourself in places and spaces that you didn't even plan to be in. In our infancy stage, we had dreams, ambitions, aspirations. We wanted to become something. But in adolescent stage, we find ourselves questioning things, worried, going to and fro like headless chickens. But in mature stage, we realize that our choices are important. So your choices, like I said, determines your destiny.
Are you done?
Thank you, Prime.
No, that is very important, man. Shout out for you guys for watching, and Thapelo, thank you very much for putting through, man. For me, what stood out is how you narrated your story from beginning. Growing up without a father, and where you grew up, and finally taking responsibility to making it about personal choice. Because at the end of the day, it's very crucial that we understand that as much as life happens, we have a choice. We cannot live and blame other people, but we need to make personal choices. So shout out, Tamaku. Thank you very much for your input, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Your first co-hosting was nice. It was nice.
I hope you'll invite me next time.
He's applying for a job now.
Dumelang Sanbonani. Greetings. My name is Thapelo Masokoane, the author of the book From Prison to Pulpit. The book simply speaks about my life. It's an autobiography in its nature. It has 4 chapters. The first chapter talks about how I was born, to whom I was born, when I was born. The second chapter talks about the harsh realities of life. The third chapter, the pain of confinement, life in prison, gangsterism. The fourth chapter, Damascus Road experience. It speaks about my conversion into Christ and Christianity. The second chapter, life after prison, the pitfalls, the trials, tribulations, trepidations that I find myself in. If you want to purchase the book, you can call me or send me an email address. And I would like to thank you for watching the video. I hope it's going to bless you so that you don't repeat the foolishness and the mistakes that I come from. And could you please comment, subscribe, and send your messages. Thank you so much. God bless.